All right, Brave Nation, this next classic battle is 3 5-minute rounds in a catch weight of 77 kilograms. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 11 wins and 2 losses. He stands 183 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 76.3 kilograms. Representing Finn Fighters Gym and fighting out of Finland, please welcome the man celebrating his birthday today, Olli, the amazing Santalahti. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 7 wins and 3 losses and 1 no contest. He stands 179 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 76.6 kilograms. Representing TriStar Gym and fighting out of Lebanon. Give it up for George, the Lebanese bulldozer.
And the taller of the two is the Finnish fighter. Again, I'm going to have to check that tape measure. Santalahti in the blue corner, Aid in the red.
And this is rare because we're used to seeing George Aid taking the centre straight away, so for him to be put on the back foot will be a rarity for him.
There's such an intensity that came from Olli Santalahti on the walkout, staring down during the announcements of each other. He is bringing a pressure and a pace that he's going to try and wilt Aid under.
I think eventually he's going to try and strike his way inside, establish the clinch and the takedown.
That would be a wise game plan against such a prolific striker. Look at that overhand right, looping there.
Almost as if he throws his hooks from behind himself, like whips them right in.
Oh, and that's a long
that's
shot.
a big moment. That's a huge moment in the fight.
And we have a cut as well on the entry. There's a little cut just above the left eyebrow. Mentally, how important are those moments, Kirik?
They are, but what's going on right now is a very smart strategy from Olli. He knows he's not the superior striker, so he's trying to jump on him with strikes, throw him off his form. The problem with that is it doesn't last for very long.
Oh, big takedown coming. Body lock, trip takedown.
Oh, well fought off.
Very well defended by the Lebanese bulldozer.
And that cut as well, I'm going to say it's worse than it actually looks, I think. If we get the camera look, it looks like it's quite wide open and it's swelling up that left eyebrow.
I'm not quite sure what that came off of. Was it a strike or a slight clash of the heads?
I believe it was a strike. And what I've been very impressed with, and you alluded to it on the build-up as we brought the fighters in, the movement opened up those strikes from Aid, even under that amount of pressure. I'd love to see the camera angle. I want to get a real look at this cut because you can see it's nasty on that left eyebrow. Pressure though coming from Santalahti.
Trying to clamp down heavy on that underhook. Oh, pulls guard.
Pulls guard, drops down.
Looked like he was about to dive in for a leg. Thought against it, didn't want to fully commit.
Incredibly rare in mixed martial arts to see that. 1993, when the sport was founded, Hoist Gracie, of course, won from guard because nobody knew what it was, but everybody knows what the guard is now. Very, very unusual to see somebody pull guard in an MMA fight.
Let's try for the triangle, trying to stuff that leg down. Yeah, trying to stuff the arm between his legs.
Oof. Such an active guard. Wants to put the ground game of George Aid to the test.
Aid actually tasting blood a little bit off his face. Don't see that all the time either.
You have to get that protein in.
That cut seems to be going just down the side of the face of Olli Santalahti.
Oh, and
but
again
a big shot.
Oh, the striking. Oh, and again, look at these shots. Uppercut.
There's only so many more of these Olli will be able to take.
These bulldozer body shots are huge. They're going to pay a huge dividend maybe fairly shortly. They're bringing the opponent's hands down, slowing down that footwork, cutting into the gas tank.
That cut is swelling, not bleeding too badly though, which is a bonus for Olli Santalahti.
Never stays in the one space too long, George. He's always cutting different angles.
And these are big cages. When you look back at the fights they've had coming up through their local scenes, the cages are much, much smaller, but the Brave cage allows that space, that movement.
Allows for creativity of the striker.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that is a takedown. That is a well-executed takedown from Olli Santalahti, and he needed it.
I would say his timing on that was just about perfect, and as you said, he needed it, and what he needed to do after the takedown is hold his opponent down. He has managed to do that. The third thing he needs is to start raining down effective strikes.
Indeed, Carrick, indeed. And we see him now just trying to transition into the side control position.
But look, making everything painful. That forearm across the throat, the pressure of the shoulder as he's trying to work a space to pass the guard. Really, and he does that, slices through that. That's high-level stuff.
Old school pressure pass, beautiful to see. Nice frame off elbow there, gentlemen.
Let's see if he looks for that beat-down position. Looks to control that left arm, trap it in his legs. Very strong on top, Kirik.
He is. Jimmy comes from Finn Fighters Gym, is one I've been following for 20 years or more. They turn out fighters of incredible toughness and, yeah, incredible technique.
And let's see now, he is looking for that beatdown. He's trying to separate that arm. This has become a more common position in mixed martial arts now, Phil.
The scope here for some elbows. Instead of just these little pot shot punches, I'd like to see him frame off and try and like wrench the elbow into the face. Even if he doesn't have enough space to land it, just grind it in.
Excellent first round by both fighters.
Well, you look at the tail of that round, the striking of Georgie Ed, and you can see the damage that Jess Isaacson is having to work on over there on the left eye. But the striking was phenomenal, Phil. The movement, like you said, using that Wushu Sandu background, causing damage. But then this moment, we had pulling guard, and then finally the excellent executed takedown. But we saw him ending in top position.
Might have been the uppercut there that clipped the eye. I'm not quite sure, but it was a glancing blow. I don't think it's anything that's going to compromise the future of the fight, but it was definitely an interesting shot landed.
We are set for round number 2. We've seen both their game plans laid out in front of us, Kirik. What do you want to see next?
I actually think Olli can get away with trying some of his slightly wild attacks just a little bit longer. I don't think his opponent quite has that timing down. I would like to see him once or twice more just go flying in, throwing the kitchen sink, then try and get an underhook, take it down to the ground where he really wants it, and he clearly has an advantage.
So we are set for round number 2. The Bandit deadlocking, going to bring them together as the cage door shuts here at Brave 48. Georgie Ed in the red corner. Olli Santalahti in the blue.
And very much in a different phase that we saw the fight beginning. George is now taking the center. But again, straight in with the takedown is Olli.
And well defended there.
Oh, landed a shot on the break too.
I was going to praise the commitment of that drive for the takedown there, Kirik, but the slippy bodies, the sweaty bodies allowed for Georgie Ed to refuse that takedown.
He's called a bulldozer, not just because he can move forward. Oh. Great shot! But because of his solidity, because of his core strength, it makes him very tough to take off his feet.
Oh, a nice kick to the body. Got to be careful with those kicks, though, Phil, hasn't it? That can give the opponent the limb to attach to get that takedown.
Especially when there's such a competent grappler like Olli. I think Olli's...
Oh, he's working the body. He's really targeting that. The straight right has gone there twice now.
Eventually, a couple more shots like that, and anyone would end up folding like a deck chair. Olli just trying to find his opening for the takedown, but he's finding that takedown defensive George impregnable right now.
And part of that defense that he's got is the footwork, right, Kirik? And it might not be fancy footwork like the Ali shuffle is, but his judgment of range, his stepping in, his angling off, it's all exquisite footwork and part of his striking.
It is indeed. It's actually picture perfect. It's just a little bit hard to see. Not as easy to see as a Superman punch or a beautiful double leg like that. Can he fit? If he can finish this double leg, it's huge. And he did!
Wow.
That's a big moment for Olli. What can he do from this position now that he has 3 minutes with which to work?
Some fighters choose to stay inside a closed guard and ground and pound. His grappling is so good, I think he's going to try and pass to half guard. A lot of fighters just stay in top half guard and ground and pound. I think he's going to try and pass all the way to the side and finish the fight. This is exactly where he wants to be.
You mentioned it, Phil, as far as a moment within this fight. There are these moments that happen along, these incremental moments during a battle with another human being, and they affect you mentally as well as physically, and that was an excellent, a big takedown with a lot of time to play with for
I
Olli.
think what you're referring to, Brian, would be the microaggressions within a fight, my friend.
I needed at least one tonight. I needed at least one. And again, working from inside the guard. 2 minutes, 20 seconds in this second round for Olli to try and progress this position.
Back when he was standing, Olli Santalahti was actually thinking about going for a straight ankle lock. Again, he fights a little bit different, and it's working for him.
Pressure covering the mouth just makes it ugly on bottom for you. It's one of those nightmare positions and a nightmare opponent where you'll just dream about him for, I say dream, have nightmares about him for many days after feeling this sort of pressure.
Olli just trying to come up into combat base to try and pass.
But we're seeing a very close guard, a very flat back. There's nothing, he's not even controlling the posture really of Olli.
It's now very low down the back of Olli as well.
Oh, and Olli just dropping that elbow in.
There's about half a dozen basic strategies from the closed guard. Aid is using one of them. He's basically trying to survive. He's trying to hold on. He could be trying to get to the back. He could be sweeping. He could be striking. He'll be trying to stand up. But what he's choosing to do is hold his opponent close and minimize the damage. He's doing that successfully.
He does have experience as well, Olli, George, sorry. This will be his 11th professional MMA fight. So he has been under pressure before, but he's much more used to the striking, and that sort of efficiency, that gas tank, that engine is a very different one that you use when you're under the attacks from bottom, when you're feeling somebody's pressure. It really does wear on you in a very different way.
Yeah, well, the difference would be when you're the one striking, you're essentially regulating your own output. You're essentially the one regulating your own gas tank. When you have to physically fight against another human being who's imposing themselves upon you from a top position, you don't really have control of how much energy you expend. Therefore, you will gas quicker.
And this could be an excellent tactic on the part of Olli Santalahti, Kirik, just not making this a fight-ending moment, but just making it one which may open it up by just grinding and taking away that cardio, that enthusiasm of fight from Georgie Ed.
It is. This is what you call the grind. It is, in my opinion, the highest form of mixed martial arts. It's the one where there's least likely for something crazy, something unexpected to happen. He is grinding his opponent down into the mat, and he's doing it successfully.
Round 2 in the books. And the story of that round, Phil, was the takedown. And for me, it's the way he commits to that charge for the takedown. You sometimes see people tentative with strikes, especially when they've taken damage going in, like the uppercut, like shots like that.
Yeah.
But he fully commits.
Fully commit. That's why he got the takedown, because he fully committed to it. And not only did those 3 minutes of top control give him a little bit of a reprieve, it also, as we said earlier, potentially has zapped the cardio down a little bit of George. So going into the third round, you have to feel that Olli Santalahti has a little bit of the ascendancy.
Yeah, it felt like it certainly in that second round. And Kirik, I'm popping you in the corner there of Ed. What are you saying to your fighter? What do you do now to switch this round tactically and mentally?
The outcome of what I would tell him is, each of you likely has one round. Whoever wins the last round is going to be the winner. If you keep it standing, it's you. If you let him take it down, it's your opponent. You can't come straight in over and over again naked. You can't come in without a lot of setups. You need to get on that bicycle, move herky-jerky, circle left, circle right, choose your moments, or you're going to get put in your back and the fight won't go your way.
Well, I am hoping for a lot of herky-jerky tonight in this final round.
Oh, I love me some herky-jerky striking in a fight.
I cannot wait. 5 minutes for this to be decided. Such a battle between these two. Ed in the red corner, Santalahti in the blue. How long are you giving it before that first takedown attempt, Phil?
I'm going to say before the minute is over, I think there's going to be a takedown attempt. But that's a huge leg kick, just right into the meat of the thigh.
And I think he heard you, Kirik. He is certainly moving as far as Ed. He's on his bike, circling, lots of lateral movement, never being a stationary target, and most importantly, never letting the cage have his back.
He's listened to, he's got an incredible corner, and he listened to him. Not every fighter is smart enough to. Let's see if this whole round goes his way. If he can keep it standing, it should. If he can't, it likely doesn't. This is where tactics in MMA come in. It's not just who's the better fighter. It's how you each employ what you've got.
Olli Santalahti just weighing up his options right now. I think he's going to try and counter the strikes of George Ed with the takedown.
Well, one thing he's got by the fact of that second round is you saw it. Oh, you saw it in the first and second round, and he did it there.
Huge.
Oh, I was going to say George Ed.
He's opened up a big cut underneath the eye.
Oh, I was going to say he wasn't sitting down on his strikes as much, but then he did that. That is
Very
a big
smart.
cut.
Backed out. Woo!
Oh, bringing the doctor in to take a look at the cut, I think.
That is instantly opening him up under the right eye there. And I was about to say, because George Ed was on the back foot, he was moving, so the strikes didn't have as much pop. As soon as he planted those feet, as soon as he picked a target, unleashed the combination with feet planted, that's the damage. And just look at it filling up. Look how quickly that is filling up under his right eye.
Oh, that's pinpoint accuracy with striking, isn't it?
Again, world-class medical staff here. If the doctor allows the fight to continue, it is safe for the fighter to continue.
And we are set. What a way to celebrate your birthday, Olli Santalahti.
It's not different to how we celebrate birthdays back home. It's just
Except you get paid for it.
No, it doesn't happen in the confines of the cage.
And we have now seen Georgie Ed, but what he's got to be careful of this. Standing still now, being that stationary target or planting those feet might give the opportunity to Santalahti for this moment.
Oh, and he powered for that takedown, didn't he? Again, at not a dissimilar time to achieve the takedown in the second round.
But he was so lit up by the damage he had caused with those strikes that he wanted to cause more damage. And that almost, well, that did give up this position, Kirik.
It did. Aid in the second round was basically just holding on, limiting damage. I think he's going to try and be aggressive from bottom now. I expect to see some strikes from bottom. Eventually, get a foot in that hip, drive the opponent off, pop back up to standing where he desperately wants to be right now.
But Olli Santalahti did exactly what he needed to do. Dug deep, show that spirit that he is known for, that finish spirit. A bit of a can opener there.
That may just be to try and open the guard, try and step over, but he seems comfortable to sit inside the guard and land his strikes. But when you consider now in the third round that he's been cut open, forcing the doctor to come in and have a look, at the 3-minute mark he gets his takedown. Do the 3 minutes of groundwork negate the fact that he's been popped open by Ed?
This is where the judges earned their money.
And there's no solid answer to that. It comes down to a judgment call if you don't finish the fight. That's what happens. All your work, half your pay, goes into the hands of someone else.
That's terrifying when you put it like that, Kirik.
This is not a sport for the faint of heart.
No, these men laying it all on the line here. Painting this canvas with the blood of George Santalahti. Whoever takes the victory here, this is a spectacular bout between these two. Oh, he might have reversed him. Look at that, making... Oh, the urgency was there, but he just needed to get back to his feet, throwing those wild limbs back up. But back into the guard, Santalahti. Another one of those moments you talked about, Phil.
Yeah. It really is a moment like that where George just took a big deep breath there, which again tells me just how pivotal that moment was. He wasn't able to get back to his feet. He was smothered by Olli. But again, Olli needs to really start being a lot more active and a lot more definitive in this kind of situation.
Oh, and again dropping him down. Clock ticking, 49 seconds left.
Olli's doing a good job at doing enough so the referee can't stand him up. I'm not certain he's doing enough to win this.
The referee is going to stand him up, though. We're going to see the last 35 seconds of this on the feet. Expect something big from Georgie Ed. Expect a takedown attempt from Santalahti. Oh, wearing the marks of this fight on his face is the birthday boy, the amazing Olli Santalahti.
That's a nice kick from Olli. Was it just south of the border? George comes over the top with a shot of his own, and he's been working that body beautifully throughout the fight, hasn't he?
When he has been on his feet, that is one of the targets he's certainly made good use of. Oh, and now pushing the pace and the pressure. Great fight between the two.
Gentlemen, there's an old saying in boxing. You can cut judging all the way down to a simple question. Who hurt who more? By that standard, I do like Georgie Ed here, but I'm not sure how the judges are going to call this one.
I think this is such a tight one to call. I think both had their moments. Control, dominance of position, as well as you said, damage, which is being worn on the face there of Santalahti.
The face of Olli Santalahti really telling the story of the fight. But again, it's a matter of interpretation. Do you give dominance to, or do you give credence to the near 10 minutes of ground control we've seen exhibited by Olli Santalahti, or do you give credence and favour to the damage done by Georgie Ed?
We shall wait and see how our judges here at cage side saw that one. What I do know is that our fans of Brave Nation just witnessed yet another bloody, spectacular, fantastic, amazing fight here at Brave 48. The canvas tells the tale. There is so much blood and heart and spirit left inside that cage.
For those of you in Brave Nation wondering what this little delay is about, there's a card runner, score runner. The score runner is collecting from two of the judges the scores, taking them to the head judge. The head judge is then going to look at it, make sure every I is dotted, every T is crossed, puts it together, hands it off to Carlos Kramer. Carlos will then enter the ring. But it's absolutely crucial that that math gets done correctly. And in the tumult of a fight, it's not as easy as it sounds. So bear with us for just a few seconds longer. I know Carlos Kramer is going to be entering the Brave Combat Federation cage very soon.
And we see there those cuts, that damage. Great work from our cut lady, our cut person, Jess Isaacson.
One of the best in the business. Just don't start her talking. Loves a chit chat, so she does.
You know it's a good fight when there is blood splattered on the camera as well. I thought there was a little bit out of focus, and I realized no, there is claret blocking our view, but we are almost set. We are ready. One man has the score. One man knows the outcome. That man is the roaring lion, Mr. Carlos Kramer.
All right, Brave Nation, what an incredible war that was. Both of these gentlemen put it all on the line. We go to the judges' scorecard. Your first judge scores about 29-28, Eid. Your next judge scores about 29-28, Santalahti. And your third judge scores about 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Olli the Amazing Santalahti.
And there we have it, Olli Santalahti on his